Well, actually, into today's video, we're going to have a look at the rainfall that's coming up at the end of this week, primarily in today's video. We'll also have a very quick look at the weather for next week to 10 days towards the end of the video. But we're mainly going to be focusing on risk of some very wet weather across some parts of the country Thursday into Friday. I think much of England and Wales will have a risk of heavy rain, but there's a specific area that could get some very wet weather indeed by the end of the week, and perhaps even a risk of some localised flooding. Now, before we get on with that, just very quick to say about the assets. Links to articles on all pages again, so it's going to have browser widgets. Any articles that you're interested in, please click through your article and read the article. Thanks so much for doing that. This video adds some motivation, open up with content. We watch them, they're close back up again. Rushing through, because we've got a lot to talk about today. So we're going to have a look at the ensembles first of all. These are temperature precipitation, but we're mainly interested in the rainfall. I'm sure you can see these very intense rainfall spikes here in this first part of the ensemble chart. This is heavy rain being forecast by the GFS model to push up from France from Thursday to Friday. The dates are just here. This is Thursday the 13th. This is Saturday the 15th just here. And it's in this zone that we've got the risk of this very wet weather, particularly 13th into 14th. Thursday into Friday. Now, ignoring this spike just here, which is clearly an outlier, it's clearly over the top. If it did come off, it would sort of be biblical amounts of rain, and we'd have to get building the arcs. But that we can ignore that one, and let's concentrate on these spikes down here. These are significant enough on their own, and with those spikes, we'll be talking about 25-50 millimetres of rain quite widely across many parts of the country. So a significant wet spell is clearly coming up there. And then as we go beyond that, well, it does dry up a little bit, but we keep a few of those rainfall spikes going. So generally the idea perhaps of staying a little bit unsettled into the second half of the month. Now, the temperatures with this are quite interesting because as we get all of this precipitation just here, we're finding the temperatures lifting up. So you can see that the rainfall is associated with a pickup in the temperatures. We won't necessarily feel the temperatures picking up on the surface because it's going to be cloudy and raining. But the air will be turning more humid, and it's really that heat and humidity that's over the continent that's going to be fueling this area of low pressure. Now, for East Anglia and southeastern parts of England, interestingly, you could turn very warm for a time. Let's say around Thursday afternoon, maybe into Friday morning. It could be very warm and humid because you probably miss the worst of the rain just there. I expect to be very warm in the southeast, but otherwise probably not particularly realising the temperature potential because of the rain and the cloud. As we go up beyond that, the temperatures into the weekend do dip down, so it goes a bit cooler than average. Red line here is the 30-year temperature average. Go a bit below average as we get through into weekend start next week. Beyond that, quite a lot of scatter, and there is uncertainty for next week's weather. Yesterday's idea was probably cool and showery. That may be going more towards drier and warmer weather for next week now. And as I say, we'll have a look at the charts on that towards the end of the video. So let's have a look at what's going on in terms of the GFS model for Thursday into Friday. It's this area of low pressure here that is the troublemaker over France at 6 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. That's got a lot of hot air being fed into it. It's also got a lot of moisture coming out of the Bay of Biscay and heading northwards into the UK. We go through 24 hours, and this is 6 o'clock Friday. That low pressure is right over top of the country, so you get the idea that the low pressure is pushing out of France into the UK. It will be bringing some heavy rain, possibly thunder with it. So this is the precipitation forecast from the GFS model for 6 o'clock in the morning Thursday. We see by then we've already got some rain through the channel into southwestern parts of Wales and southwestern England. This is the initial push really, and this could be thundery. There could be thunderstorms coming up with this initial push of rain. That goes northwards across much of England and Wales through the course of Thursday, morning. It's midday Thursday. It's turning drier in the southeast, so then the temperatures could become very warm and humid down across East Anglia and southeastern parts of England. 6 o'clock in the evening Thursday sees that first area of rain, possibly with thunder across northern England. It turns drier across England and Wales for a time Thursday afternoon, but you see more heavy rain, possibly thunderstorms gathering across northern parts of France, threatening the southeast. And then things really do get going on Thursday night. This is midnight Friday, and we can see by then widespread rain across much of the country. This is probably in the form of showers initially, or thunderstorms. But you're going to notice that it all starts to band together into a persistent band of rain, and by 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday you can see where that band of rain is occurring. So we probably lose the risk of thunder overnight Thursday into Friday. The lightning thunder tends to die down, but instead we'll sort of band the showers and the storms together into a persistent band of rain, and that's really through northeastern parts of England, southeast Scotland, coming down through the rest of northern England into the Midlands, Wales and southwestern parts of England. To the southeast, probably not too much. And for western Scotland and Northern Ireland, western parts of Wales, probably not a great deal either. And look at this, we go through to midday Friday, and that band of heavy, potentially torrential rain is still in roughly the same zone through northern England, the Midlands, particularly the West Midlands, and down into the southwest of England and western parts of Wales. So that's many, many hours of a persistent band of heavy, potentially torrential rain there through those central parts of the country. Again, for East Anglia, South East England, on the eastern side of that rain band, not too much, and there's not too much in the north and the west either. As we go through into Friday evening, it's 6 o'clock Friday evening, the rain is then pushing eastwards out of the country, or into the east of the country, starting to lose its intensity by that time as well. Have a look at the total precipitation that could occur with that band of rain in a moment. I just want to show you the GEM. This is a precipitation forecast from the GEM. We can only go through in 12-hourly steps with this as opposed to the 6-hourly steps we can use for the GFS model. It's not as good a model either, but you'll see that interestingly it does develop the same sort of band of rain in the same zone as we go through into Friday. So this is a rainfall forecast for midnight Thursday, mostly dry, some thunderstorms threatening the channel. As we go through Thursday morning, that first band of heavy rain, possibly with thunderstorms, pushes northwards across many parts of England and Wales, although East Anglia, South East England just about staying out of trouble. It all becomes very widespread in terms of a rainfall by midnight on Friday. Again, could be thunderstorms within that as well. And then look at this, we're banding the showers and the thunderstorms into a more persistent area of rain, and it's roughly in the same zone through the course of Friday. This is midday Friday, and again it's through southeastern Scotland, northern England, particularly northeastern England, go down into the Midlands, particularly the West Midlands, and then down into southwestern parts of England. East Anglia, southeastern England, on the eastern side of that persistent band of rain, more or less stays out of trouble, as does many parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland. By the time we go through to midnight Saturday, that low pressure then is clearing away to the east, taking the worst of the rain away with it. The total precipitation that could occur with this is the high def 5-day precipitation total chart from weatheroutlook.com looks like this, and many parts of England, Wales, of course, having rain. So East Anglia, South East England gets 15-20 millimetres of rain, wet enough, but nothing too alarming. But you'll see we've got these vibrant colours. That's where we've got the we've got a persistent band of torrential rain from Thursday night and through much of Friday. And again, it's through northeastern England, down to northern England, through the Midlands, particularly West Midlands, and down into southwest of England. And in those areas, we could be seeing anything up to 100 millimetres of rain. That's 4 inches of rain falling in those areas. It's over a short time scale. These are 5-day totals, but this is really focused on Thursday into Friday. So over such a short time frame, with that intensity of rainfall, there will be a risk of localised flooding in places. Obviously, I'll be keeping you posted on this. I won't be doing a storm watch tonight. I'll do that tomorrow, because by then this will be in the high-res time frame of the Euro 4 and also the WRF model. So we'll look at it tomorrow on Stormwatch. But be keeping updated on it, of course, over the next day or so, because it's going to be a bit of a weather event. Having a look at the precipitation anomaly for the coming week, we're going wetter than average. So this is from the 11th to the 19th of August. And a bit of a change around on what we've had throughout the summer, because Scotland and Northern Ireland, particularly Western Scotland and Northern Ireland, where you've had the worst of the rainfall this summer, is going drier than average through the course of the coming week, whereas many parts of England and Wales, where it's not been too bad this summer, we're going significantly wetter than average, and the reason it's all down to what's happening Thursday and Friday. Let's just have a very quick look at the weather next 7 to 10 days before I go. This is the GFS for Saturday, and cool and showery conditions really. We take that thundery low pressure and intense rainfall off to the east by Saturday morning. So Saturday will be sort of a drying up type day, if you like. We'll start to mop up, and there will still be showers around, but it will be an improvement as we go through Saturday. More showers probably coming through Sunday into Monday with this little trough of low pressure. But after that, the sea levels through the middle part of next week could start to build up a bit of a ridge from the southwest and turn things drier and warmer through to the middle part of next week. Yesterday's suggestion was for cool and showery weather through next week. Today we sort of reverted back to a warmer, drier type outlook. Again, very odd summer this one, with lots of chopping and changing from the long-range computer models. It's been going on all summer, and it's still going on now. Really, we go through to the end of next week, and still the suggestion that high pressure is close to the country, keeping it pretty warm and dry. This is quite a significant change on what we were seeing just yesterday. That's GFS. ECMDF is very similar. Cool and showery conditions for the weekend and start of next week. Then we start to build a ridge up from the southwest. It looks very transient to be, this ridge. I think it'll very quickly be swept away, but models are probably making more of it than it will actually be. But nevertheless, GFS and ECM sort of in agreement that high pressure is close to the country through the middle and last stage of next week, possibly lifting temperatures if it comes off into mid to upper 20 Celsius. So that idea yesterday that summer may be sort of slipping away from us is going away today, and actually we're going back towards a more warmer, drier pattern, if you believe these models. But the GEM, as ever, is different, and that's sticking with the cool and showery weather for next week. So this low pressure sunny into Monday looks quite significant for the south. Could give some heavy rain if it comes off. We tried to build a bit of a ridge up through the middle part of next week, but it doesn't really come off. And generally, we just keep it cool and showery through most of next week on the GM. The GM is not as good as a model as the other two, but it can't be totally discounted. And I say, I think we've got to wait a little bit longer, really, to see where things are going next week. But in terms of this week, well, all eyes on Wednesday night into Thursday and then into Friday. There will be a risk of thunderstorms, particularly earlier on in this event, and then after that, by Friday, it's probably more of a persistent massive rain, band of rain, that could give some very wet weather to central parts of the country. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on it. It'll be within the time frame of high-res models tomorrow, so I'll do another storm watch tomorrow afternoon. 5-day forecast as well tomorrow will cover this. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.